Hey, Alex,
Hey,
how you doing?
good. You?
I'm doing great, thanks. I'm trying to stay warm. It's cold out.
I know.
Well, this is Dan Oliver with the Minnesota Outdoor Adventure Foundation, and I'm here with my buddy Alex Schlink. Alex, you've been doing a lot of fishing, I hear.
Oh yeah, and at 55 nights spent on the lake this year so far.
You have spent 55 nights overnight, over
Overnight, and
overnight
then
on the
the other
lake
day
fishing.
just day
Wow.
fishing.
You have ice fished more than anybody I know, sir. Oh, by the way, I just saw an email here a few minutes ago. You just donated $250
Yes.
foundation. Thank you very much. We appreciate
Yeah.
that.
Prob-
As you know, we're having our fundraiser, but I was shocked to see that because I know you and I were going to talk here. So thank you very much, Alex. So I want to quickly tell a little bit about your story. You can fill in some details
Mhm.
and you can tell me where I might not be correct
Yep.
about this, but, and I'm going to show a few pictures of you. There we go. Um, but I think it was October 2014, you were diagnosed
Yep.
with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma.
Yes, sir.
Then you went through all your chemo, and at a point you thought you were in remission.
Yep. And then a couple weeks later, we got a call that it was back, and I had to do a whole nother chemo treatment, radiation, and then bone marrow transplant,
Well,
which
that's
took
where I
a
was
very
going. When you found out several weeks later that you thought it was over, that they said now you have a non-Hodgkin's lymphoma T cell, which is extremely aggressive,
Mhm.
right? And
Yes.
for that, they said you needed to do a bone marrow transplant.
Yep.
I mean, you brush over this stuff like it's no big deal, but this is no big deal. I don't need to tell
No.
you that. And then you had the bone marrow transplant. And after that, your body rejected the new bone marrow.
Yep. It was everything went wrong with that one.
That's what I understand. So it ate away all your stomach lining, and I'm sure there was a lot of other issues with this.
Yep.
And
Hip
then
replaced,
you
collapse.
you had your shoulder replaced.
My left hip. My left shoulder is still collapsed and my right hip is still fully collapsed.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
So what we knew you needed a trip, and you can see on the screen there.
Oh yeah.
We sent you on to date. This is our biggest trip ever. We sent you, and we surprised you at our banquet. We sent
Mm-hmm.
you on a red stag hunt to New Zealand.
Oh yeah.
Tell me about that.
Uh it was a trip that you can't even explain. It's just so different than here in like the first place. Is we thought we were gonna go out, see a couple animals, and we ended up going out for about an hour or two for the first, and I think we saw close to 100 of them. I mean, they were absolutely everywhere. The noises and sounds you heard were very, very weird. Jurassic Park, actually, a lot of the background noises are real, and they're the stags and all the other deer. They just don't sound anything like they do here. But saw a lot of monsters. Couldn't
So that
shoot
was the
them.
trip of a lifetime, obviously.
Oh yeah, I if I could go back, I definitely would.
Yeah, well, that's a heck of a stag right there.
Oh yeah,
And then you also,
except
as
oh
we
yeah,
can see in the
got,
photo there, you got a bonus. You got some type of a longhorn sheep there. What exactly was that?
I'm pretty sure they're called Alomar Rams. It There's so many different names that they have for them, but
Sure.
it was very cool and a very different animal. Like the wool on it, I think was like 9 inches thick. So
Oh,
they're
wow.
yeah, it was very, very weird.
Wow. So, and those two animals, we presented to you your mounts at our banquet later that year. This is a couple of years ago now.
Yeah.
So that was pretty awesome seeing them there, wasn't it?
Yeah. The only problem was you had to have a very big wall to hang them on because otherwise they don't fit anywhere.
Yep. You have them at your home or are they up at the
No,
cabin?
they're at the cabin. There's no walls in the house that they can.
They're pretty big, aren't they?
Yeah.
Especially that red stag.
Yep. Won't fit through a door. You actually got to take the antlers off. So.
Well, we're having our fundraising week right now, as you know, and as I mentioned, you were good enough to actually donate. So we need to raise a lot of funds because we have a waiting list of recipients this year.
Oh, wow.
And with the pandemic, we're just having an online virtual auction, silent auction that we're encouraging everyone to go to, and please bid everything up. A lot of good donated items, and people can make cash donations as well. But we need the funds to pay for trips like yours.
Yes.
Most of them aren't as big as yours, but we, as I mentioned, we've got more than twice as many recipients waiting for a trip this year in 2021 than we've ever had at this time of the year before.
That's cool.
So we need to raise some funds. So what would you say to anyone out there who's, doesn't really know a lot about our foundation, but is thinking about maybe making a donation or going online and bidding on some of our items?
Well, I did notice that online, everybody thinks it would be just hunting and fishing stuff, but there's tons of gift cards and everything else I've already been looking at. Yep. So it's not for hunting and fishing people, I should say.
Good point. But there's a lot of hotel stays. There's a lot of restaurant gift cards. It was tough for restaurants to donate this year. Obviously, during the pandemic, a lot of them have been closed and they're struggling, but some of them were still very generous and donated to us. But I mean, there's a 5,000 square foot condo in penthouse in Cabo San Lucas on there. There's I don't think it's visible on there yet, but we've got a guided elk hunt that's going to be on there any day now. We've got a houseboat trip. There is, and there's $25 gift cards too. They're not all huge, but there's a wide variety of stuff. There's a $250 gift card for Continental Diamond. I mean, there's stuff for everybody. And you made a good point. It's not all hunting and fishing, right? So I hope everybody, hey, go to our website, mnoaf.org, and then there's a link from there to the silent auction. Anyway, hey, good to catch up with you.
Yeah.
Thanks for your time. Good to see you, buddy.
No problem.
I remember last year on the fishing opener, I got a bunch of text from you. Pictures of all the fish you were catching.
I was limit out before you were even awake.
I think you had your limit before I was on the water. And I was on the water early. I was on the water by 6, but I think you had your limit by 4 or something. Or I don't know.
Awake at 10 o'clock the night before.
You were up early.
I was sleeping out there. And 12 o'clock, you were
12 o'clock, you were trolling, if I remember, trolling crankbaits.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. I'm going to be waiting for my text pictures this year as well.
Oh, yeah. Hopefully.
Right. Thanks, buddy. Good to see you again.
Yep. Thank you.
Bye.